17 years ago, we promised each other forever. Last year, I transitioned. But it's still our forever. Because it turns out, she's a little bit gay.
When I first saw this video, I thought that poor woman, she has to deal with her husband transitioning into a woman and having to play along to this fantasy because they have children together. They've been married for 17 years. But you will see that the wife is actually the villain. She is the enabler in this sad, sad story. This is the beach where my spouse came out to me as transgender in 2019. I was heartbroken that she had carried this alone for so long. But her courage to open up with this kind of vulnerability changed me. My greatest hope at that point was that she could heal and become a more authentic version of herself. And through lots of learning and self-love, this became possible for her. What I didn't foresee was how loving her through her transition would allow me to let go of my false selves and embrace the heart of who I am too. My experiences over the past few years have taught me that authenticity is contagious. And walking this planet as the person you know yourself to be is your birthright. Authenticity here is that this is a man, a 6'5" man. Now I was fully on the wife's side thinking this man is just selfish. He wants to put his mental illness, his body dysphoria in front of being a father and being a father figure in his family. Until I watched the video from her called Why I Stay Married to My Transgender Partner.
I had an academic background of studying a lot of feminist theory, but that still hadn't prepared me for this deep dive that I had to do.
An academic background in feminist theory. Red flag. To me, this feels like she was grooming her husband to become transgender.
Even though I experienced our marriage in a very heteronormative way for years, now I think of Shaye as a woman and I'm attracted to her as a woman. I think this indicates that my orientation is somewhat fluid. So I definitely feel queer. I also feel that it's important to say that I would never criticize someone for making a different choice than me because I just think that every situation is so different. There's various reasons why relationships work or don't work. But for Shaye and me, we both really wanted to stay together.
What if Shaye wanted to be an ostrich? Would you stay with him then? It's just so heartbreaking to me to see this family lose a father because of the delusion of both of the parents. This is a shared responsibility. She is supporting this, and he is pretending to be a woman.
The reason we've decided to share our family's journey is in hopes that if we can humanize what it is to be trans, then in this process, maybe people can release some of their baggage around gender. I wish everyone could ask themselves, what aspect of my culture's gender roles don't align with how I want to show up in the world? Maybe we can help people see a world beyond the gender binary in which there is a lot more color in between.
No, you should not advocate for that. There's a reason nuclear families have been in existence since the dawn of time. It's because it works. A mother and a father raising children. But to take away a father willingly because of your own mental illness is unacceptable.
I support my transgender partner because I believe supporting this community will uplift humanity in general. And for the Christians out there, yes, this is what we believe Jesus would do too.
The whole point of Adam and Eve getting thrown out from the Garden of Eden was to go and replenish and fill the earth through procreation, man and woman. Go and claim to be a woman. Go and claim to be an ostrich. Go and blind yourself so you can be disabled to get attention. But why are you bringing Jesus into this?
So our sexual orientations, you've described that you're attracted to women, so you would identify as lesbian, or how would you identify?
Yeah, I know I'm attracted to women. But what's funny about it too is it's like, I think going through this experience, like I think for a lot of people to question their sexuality, you have to look at everything. And so for me, it's like, yeah, I don't think about being attracted to men ever, but I've never had a reason to, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I think a lot.
He has never been interested in men. So he's come full circle to become a woman who is also a lesbian. We just live in a clown world. We live in a clown world.
We just had sex last night.
Stop.
Yes, intimacy is very much still part of our lives, and it's obviously changed in ways just because of hormones. In many ways, I feel closer to you because I feel like there's more
I think the real question is, does he still have the dingly dangly?
of an emotional element that was kind of thwarted because of testosterone. It's where I don't feel like there's any distance there, and I can just be me.
Yeah.
Intimacy to just feeling emotionally connected, I feel like it's such a bizarre experience to try to describe unless you've been there. I don't know.
She just got the best of both worlds. She got her dream lesbian partner that can connect with her on an emotional level, that also has a cock and balls. I just wish I could find a man that we could cuddle for hours and he could still rail me later. What's really sad is how focused they are on themselves and not thinking about the impact on their children that it's going to have. They are monetizing this man's transition and his mental illness for financial gain. It's really cut and dry that this entire experience is based on this lady's mental problems, because she's just as delusional as the husband. I studied feminist theory in college, so I'm going to do videos about you and we're going to make millions of dollars.
What have been the main barriers to being yourself?
Honestly, shame.
Yeah.
I think the element of shame is very strong in society. It generally indicates that you're doing something wrong. Having body dysphoria and having this mental illness shouldn't be celebrated and lauded all over the internet. It should be something that's dealt with in therapy, behind closed doors, privately. Yet here we are with this channel with over 100,000 subscribers, putting this man's misery on show for fame.
Do you feel like there's a lot of people in our culture that still are shaming this?
Yeah, I do.
My pronouns, conservative, patriot.
I'd like to declare something right now. My pronouns are USA. How about it, huh?
Is false, then for the good of society and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely.
Why was he dressed like that?
He's a transvestite.
I think people fear what they don't understand, so they project their fears onto other people.
I hear this argument a lot that it's transphobia. You're scared of a transgender person. I'm not scared of a man being a woman or a woman pretending to be a man. What I am concerned about is that this family has just lost their father. And now more than ever, I believe a father figure is necessary to navigate the world as a young child, a young teen, etc., etc.
And that somehow by allowing other people to be who they are, it doesn't allow them to be who they are, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't really form the best thought there because you don't really understand this at all. Just leave them alone. It's harmless. Let them go do whatever they want. There is harm here. We're celebrating, we're idolizing these transgender people and putting them up on a pedestal. That means more and more youth are going to start wanting puberty blockers. More minors are going to go talk to their parents, and the parents are going to be okay with it to get this irreversible transition surgery that many, many transitioners wish had never been done. So yes, it is harmful.
So every week, I stick.
Oh, look at this woman. Tell me she doesn't look evil here. Like this is the face of a demon.
This thing in my leg, and I don't like it, but I do it for the children.
For the children? The delusion's real.
There are certain things about taking hormone replacement therapy as a way to help alleviate dysphoria. I've been doing that for about a year, and it's helped a lot, you know, and instantly I just realized like how much I do not like testosterone. I don't like it.
And
Ew, icky, get this testosterone out of me.
so how are you feeling about your surgery?
So I'm getting what they call facial feminization surgery. It's something some transgender people do to.
Yeah, this is such a first world problem, right? You can tell they're in a very nice house and they're spending all this money on cosmetics. And really, I think it is only cosmetic, right? Because they've talked about having sex still. Back in the good old days, people didn't have time to think about this kind of shit. They went to work, they raised their families, they lived their lives, and this nonsense was just not a thing.
But I also have gratitude that I can do this and have somebody by my side to help me through this.
This poor man, confused, facing mental challenges, and his wife is enabling the hell out of him. That poor family, those poor children that are being sucked into this sick and twisted delusion. Now, of course, the comment sections is all positivity. You're admirable. Others can learn so much from you. I love and have huge respect for you both. What needs to happen is more people to stand up and say, this is not correct. This should not be applauded. This should not be monetized. Transgender should not be put upon a pedestal. Back in the 20s and 30s, if a man went to someone and said, hey, I'm feeling like a woman, see? They throw him into the loony bin, right? But now in 2024, it is applauded. Woman of the Year, brand sponsorships. It is so lucrative to be transgender in 2024. Why wouldn't you be?
Was down, but now I'm up. Yeah. This all got this ain't no love. Yeah.
They say the longer you are married, the more you look like each other.
I think the Twilight Zone music was an excellent choice in this situation. Yeah, the longer you're married, the more facial transformation surgery you have and the more hormones you take. You definitely start to look like your spouse.
People that I feel like essentially have woken up and they recognize the constructs that are created by the patriarchy and all these other issues that can just see people for who they are and say, just be you, because that's them doing the same, right? It's them living their lives authentically, so they want others to do the same, and that's...
How hypocritical that this man is calling out the patriarchy. You are the patriarchy. Look at this beautiful home and the ability to pay for this cosmetic surgery that you were afforded by the patriarchy. So dumb.
Kind of the beauty of really just being you.
Yeah. And maybe that's most powerful for people who experience gender dysphoria or who are queer in some way.
It just feels like he's being coached. All these words and things that he's learning from the feminist theory major wife.
Well, I obviously, cliche as it sounds, I couldn't have done it without you. So
we did it. Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Here's the question I have for you. Who is at fault here? Do you think that this husband was always wanting to transition and just needed the little kick in the pants from this feminist wife? Or do you think the wife coached him and groomed him into the monstrosity before us today? And I don't say monstrosity as in this is an ugly person. I'm saying a monstrosity as in this is unnatural and not correct. Anyway, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And please be sure to subscribe to Conservative Vibes if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time.